I have Jonathan Lopez on docket today. It's a violation of bond conditions. After speaking with him and looking at it, it looks like he signed for bond conditions on March 5th, and that was filed on March 5th, and that stated an address. However, another bond condition, an amended bond conditions, was filed on March 10th with that address crossed out and a new one added in. He wasn't aware of that, and that's the address that he went to for this violation of bond conditions. He's here.
Yeah, if I needed to. This was a case
Yeah.
where we came back for a minute moment. Brad was the attorney on it. He came in, we scratched out the old address. It looks like from what I saw, his client initiated, Brad initiated, and we sustained it. And it looks like as soon as he got out of jail, he went to that address.
He's not aware of those. Let me pull it up.
So you're saying he did?
Yes, Judge. On the amended book, there's his initials on the amended book, as well as the attorney.
I advised him. He was stating that he was unaware that that's why he was initialing. I told him I would address it with him, but it's a presumption that he knows what he's signing. But I did tell him that I will bring it to your attention.
Does he want?
He's just basically saying that he didn't know what address that he was supposed to be prohibited from. He was under the impression that he's still supposed to be prohibited from the 20915 Barrow Street and not Owens. I told him I would address it with you.
Okay.
We could bring him out if you want to.
I don't know. It's up to you. I mean, if you want to, but it looks like he's got a high bond on the felony case, huh?
Yeah.
And he's not made bond on that case, so he's got a high bond on our case as well.
Your Honor, I think that's actually, so there's two Jonathan Lopez. One's a BPO.
Oh,
Sorry, Your Honor. I know what case you're talking about too.
I see.
Oh, this one is just a misdemeanor. This
No. I have literally two Jonathan
and
Lopez's.
Lopez's. Yes.
You're wrong.
I have Santos.
Your Honor.
That's why.
So this one, no, he just has this BPO. I did talk to the state. I understand the concerns. I just wanted to bring this to your attention because he's saying that he was unaware of the change of address.
I told him over and over and over. Can you bring him out? Jonathan Lopez, Santos. Here. Hold on. Let me make sure you get the right one. Bottom of 38. Yeah. If he tries to tell me that he didn't know, I mean, how many times did we say?
Well, this is the case where the plea was re-entered after the moment was amended, so then you advised them and admonished them once more.
Yeah. I told him I would bring it to your attention, Judge, so.
So this is the one where we did, we did the plea on the terroristic threat, right? The terroristic threat, the evading were dismissed. Or two terroristic threats and evading were dismissed, right?
That wasn't with me, Judge.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so no, it was just one terroristic
One
threat.
terroristic
Yeah, it
threat.
was just one. Some just don't get it. I mean, I'm truly at a loss. Truly at a loss. When we did the plea, not 6-7 days ago, I told you probably 25 times, don't go back. And now here, you've picked up a violation of a bond condition of protective order. Let's do probable cause because I don't know. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir. Please.
On March 12, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, officers were dispatched to a violation of a protective order call. The officer met with the complainant, who stated that she found the defendant in her mother's house while there was an active protective order, including a residency restriction. The officer arrived and found the defendant at the location and confirmed there was a protective order prohibiting the defendant from being at the location.
So it goes back to mom's house.
Yes, sir.
Not the,
Yes, sir. She went back to the residence.
I don't know what we're gonna, I don't know,
I just want to make sure that he knows or that I wasn't there on the plea before. I just seen that the two different filings. He's saying that he didn't know the address.
Problem is that we have
Yeah.
the wrong address,
Right.
so we
So,
amended.
but he was admonished about the new address.
And so far as the lawyer even went to the jail to go talk to him,
Okay.
to tell him. So I did,
Okay.
the lawyer did.
Okay. Well, thank you, Judge. I didn't know that.
I don't know if you're gonna get out, but let me tell you something, and I want to make this really clear to you, Mr. Lopez, is that now with what you were charged with, the Texas Constitution does not allow me, but in extremely limited circumstances, this being one of those, to have a hearing to hold you at no bond, zero bond. This is that type of offense. I don't know if you're gonna get out. I don't know if anyone is gonna pony up the $5,000 to get you out. If someone does, I'm going to put an ankle monitor on you. If I find that you violate any of the conditions that I'm going to put on you now, I will have a hearing to hold you at no bond. Do you understand? I don't know what it's going to take to get you to hear me, but perhaps that may be it. I don't want you to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case. I don't want you to have any contact with mom. I don't want you to have any contact with dad. I don't want you to have any weapons. I don't want you to go within 1,000 feet of where they live, where they work, and the address listed in this order for protection. Do you understand?
I have the address, sir.
We will give it to you. Prior to me, I'm going to tell you this now, Ms. Strong, that prior to me accepting anything, any kind of plea bargain in this case, I would like to have a TRAS done to see how we go forward. Because I'm going to tell you now that every time
Hmm.
that something it's, and,
I understand, Judge.
okay, all right.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we need him to sign conditions real quick, and then we'll give him a copy of the MOA right here, and then he can go back.
Thank you.
Sure, and I'm gonna find probable cause.
Okay. Davey?
So let me get this straight. You plead guilty last week to a terrorist threat. I told you as part of that not to go back to the location. The day after you get out, you go back to this location, you pick up a violation of protective order, and now you want me to take a time served? Really?
Your Honor.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. It's not a time
Yeah.
served. It's a 1 year in Harris County Jail. That's the maximum sentence. And I spoke to the complainant. That's what she's requesting.
And
This, okay.
yeah,
But first, I would like to have him TRAS because I want to know how to go forward. Because the problem is that this has now become a revolving door where it's in and out and over and over and over. We need to figure out why. And this, the fact that you just keep going to jail over and over and over, why? Let's get to the root of the problem to figure out why. Why do we have these aggressions? Why do we have you keep coming back? That's what I'd like to do. Enough of this, you know? So please, I'd like to set it for TRAS to see how we go forward to figure out, so we stop. I mean, literally, Mr. Lopez, and I did this with you last week.
I understand, Judge.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. No. The time has come to stop. Okay, thanks. We'll try to get it done as quick as possible. Well, I'll expedite you because you're in custody. Just be honest with these people. They're gonna come evaluate you. Be honest with them. If I get the report back and it says that they're little bunny jumping in the woods, that there's no issues, I'm gonna send you right back to do it again because it's just not true. Okay, thanks. All right.
Judge, I've got an off-docket matter asking the court to set bond on a case, please.
What's your cause number?
It's going to be Jaden Bolding. His cause number is 255-4634, 255-4634.
Okay, give me a second. Let me make sure everybody
Yes, sir.
gets it. You got it?
Yes.
No. 255-4634.
255-4634. Yes, sir.
34. No, 4634.
Okay.
Okay, you want to bring your claim?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. What was that case number?
255-4634. It's an off-docket arraignment.
We need a PSR on that one.
Yeah. Good morning, sir. Give me one second. Did you hear that?
Yes, I got it, but I haven't done the PSR.
Take it up. All right, good morning, Mr. Bolding.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Mr. Bolding, you were charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, What will be appointed to you, sir?
Yes, Judge. On March 7th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, officers were dispatched to a mental health call and met with the witness and the complainant, who are the stepfather and mother of the defendant. The witness stated that the defendant suffered from an undiagnosed mental illness, which caused him to get triggered. The defendant was triggered by clothes lying on the bed and started to argue. The defendant grabbed a pair of scissors, which the complainant took from him before the defendant struck the complainant several times, causing pain. I'm sorry?
Who?
The complainant.
I know. Who is?
Stepfather, Your Honor. The stepfather.
Mr. Bolding, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I am now entering in what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection. This is a court order that identifies Mr. Lawson as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person. Commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon. This usually comes with a residential restriction. We need to figure out, are they here?
They're not, but the state has
Your Honor, We
conferred.
have spoke with them and the complainant does want the defendant back at the residence.
And we'll take off the residential restriction. How old are you, sir?
I'm 27.
You are not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. And I'm telling you now that I'm going to test you for marijuana. If I find that you're using, it's not going to go well for you. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
I promise you, you're going to get tested. If I find that you're using, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. I'm going to give you a PR bond today so that you don't go to jail. But if I find that you become a danger to my community, I will do everything in my power to protect every single person. I don't care what your excuse is. I don't care what you're going through. If there are issues, now is the time for you to take care of them. I hope that this is enough of a wake-up call that I don't have to put you in custody, because we have enough people in there now as it is. What do you do with yourself?
Yes, sir.
Are you in school? What do you do?
I'm planning on going back to college, sir. But I cut hair and I produce and I engineer music, sir.
Okay.
Let's work at
Did you graduate from high
Oh,
school?
and I work at HEB. Sorry, HEB is like my job, but it's in career.
What about high school? Did you finish high school?
Yes, sir. I graduated.
It's time for you now to also start thinking of the future. The more education you get, the more money you're going to make in life. And I'm going to tell you, this life is so great if you have money, and it's so terribly awful when you don't. I promise you. The farther you go, the more knowledge you get, because knowledge is power. This is what you're going to get. This is not good. Now you have a lawyer. Have you signed on yet?
I will today, Judge.
I need you to sign on. I have attorney of records in the tower. You have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court. But you've got to stay in touch with him, and he'll tell you if and when you have to come back. You're going to get tested. Don't use. You understand?
So
Okay. Guys, bond, any recommendation?
We would ask for maybe a $500 surety bond, not anything
Do you have
significant.
any priors?
He has no priors.
No priors, Your Honor. And due to the mental health concern of the case, we would,
Surety bond's going to do
I
what?
spoke to the DVD prosecutor as well, and that's what he conveyed.
Well, I'm going to give you a PR bond. I'll set your bond at $100.
thank you, Your Honor.
Just make me proud. That's all I'm asking you to do, man. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have you go sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you take a seat while we generate all the paperwork. You will meet with Felicia for your bond conditions, and after that, you're free to go.
Very good.
Thank you, Judge.
So can you file no threatening, harassing, and no weapons, please?
Yes, Judge.